like the idea of researching with materials and trying things that I have never done in the context of the university. I spent 7 years at the University of São Paulo, and that was the place where my research with plywood started. And I was doing a research on painting made with other objects. And I think everything came back to my mind when I saw this space. I had been in the United States before in other cities like Cleveland, and where I found lots of the materials that are different than things that I usually work with in Brazil. And I knew they have this amazing metal tin and have lots of inner tubes, car materials, and also materials from houses. And I thought this creating like a kind of hybrid between an animal and a structure, it could be an interesting starting point to see how these materials would work together.
Henrique needed a month to come up with the ideas, to search for different skins around Charlotte and absorb the vernacular of Charlotte and put it on the outside of the piece.
We started with creating a first volume with PVC tubes. We made the first round part, which is the largest part you see in the back of the piece. And after that, we started with bender board, which is the basic material that I use to build my sculptures.
Krista asked John Allmeyer and I to create a work that would respond to Henrique Oliveira's work. Tres para Tres, which is the piece that John composed and I created, has to do with the multiplicity of threes. We look at the sculpture, for instance, and then we look at the dance, and then we look at the music. So there's one set of threes. Then we look at the dancer and my partner dancer and the sculpture, and you have another set of threes. It's very, very three-dimensional, and that the bodies joining together become quite sculptural. It's very organic, and then you find places of balance and stillness. So there's so many things that can fit with Henrique's work.
I think it's extremely valuable that Henrique actually creates things that defy any categorization. And I think that's really valuable for us as a gallery to show work like that. Everybody keeps asking me, what is this? And I just call it the unnameable beast. And there's a place for things that are unnameable. And art is usually where that happens.